day, friends. Here's a brand new day for all of us, and we thank God for the everyday present, or everyday presence, as a matter of fact. This miracle of life, we call it a daily miracle, that He wakes us up from a deep slumber to enjoy another day for every sunset, for every sunrise. So what a truly majestic God we have. Today's episode brings us to a pensive mood. It will make us think about the importance of time, speed, presence of mind, an incredible patience, but most of all, the value of life, and especially during these truly trying times. We invited a frontliner who has devoted her service at the emergency room as a resident physician. She is an IM at the Vicente Soto Hospital. Friends, please welcome Dr. Eugene Marie Ungab. Welcome to Pilar and Friends, Doc.
Thank you, Ma'am Pilar, for inviting me. I feel so honored that you have selected me amongst the 1,000 frontliners out there. Thank you.
Thank you, Doc, for accepting our invitation. Thank you for giving us your time. We know how busy you are these days, yet you gave us your time. So many questions are on my mind right now. And I'm thinking of how best to present them to our audience. Please give us a short background, Doc. How long have you been a physician? As a resident and assigned at the emergency room during this pandemic, can you say that you are a first-timer at the immense challenges of handling COVID patients?
I'm actually a first-year resident in the Department of Internal Medicine. When the COVID pandemic happened, it was indeed a challenge because this set of patients are of a specialized group that no one in the world could have ever anticipated, in terms of patient care.
All the medical professionals, the hospital workers, are risking their lives in order to save the lives of patients. As a matter of fact, there was a time when NCR doctors were already complaining of exhaustion. Did you also get to that point, Doc? Did you reach that point wherein you felt so exhausted? And what steps did you take to overcome the exhaustion?
I'd like to clarify that call for timeout, Ma'am Pilar. It wasn't a cry of exhaustion, rather an alarm that cases are rising, hospitals are getting full, and patient care can be compromised. We do not have the enough manpower to give dignity of care towards the patients that need it during the rise of surge of COVID patients. Healthcare workers were even included in this set of patients. We healthcare professionals can actually handle donning and doffing layers of personal protective equipment as long as patient safety and dignity of care is practiced.
How about the direct contact with your patients, Doc? Were you ever afraid, uncertain, running against time? What was the biggest challenge for you, and how did you and your team face that?
The hardest part of this pandemic is actually explaining to family members the status of isolated patients, most especially intubated ones. It is a Filipino trait that all family members are included in the decision-making process of patient care. Lisod kayo, Ma'am Pilar, no, na di ka makakita sa mga pasyente, mag-agada ka sa mga tao sa sulod sa ospital. If buot kuhaon sila sa Ginoo, sakit paminahon kay wala ka para nila.
Oh, the relievers, how about them? They also went through the same processes, and right, Doc? The necessary personal protocol equipment, endorsements, what kind of exchanges did you have with your colleagues and other hospital co-workers, especially in the ER? Do tempers flare and people, afraid and getting frantic? Is there that pall of glue hanging around, so to speak? Since there is still no immediate available vaccine. And this is all something very new to all of you, to all of us, as a matter of fact.
In the advent of medical research, we are starting to understand how this virus works. And as taught in medical school, the most vulnerable chain in the chain of infection is the mode of transmission. That is why hand washing, social distancing, and wearing of masks is highly suggested.
So, how do you handle the demise of your patients, Doc? Even though you have tried your best to save him or her, and yet, hanggang doon na lang talaga. There's nothing you can do.
When a patient dies, we grieve for their families as well. We are only but instruments of God to take care of these patients. But if He wills it that life must be already taken, it will be His call. We just do and have given our best.
Since there is still an ongoing crisis, Doc, is there a difference now from when all of these emergencies began in March? Are there working treatments? What are the chances of survival? Are there new discovered ways of going about how to treat COVID patients?
There has been a huge improvement since the start of this pandemic. In our hospital, we have allocated a building for suspected and confirmed COVID cases. We have a separate ER for those patients that live in a certain barangay with COVID cases. For moms who are in labor or those who are about to deliver, we have a separate building for that as well. An OR as well for patients who are positive for COVID. We have an infection control committee that is keen on implementing its policies. And I am also very happy that we have advocated for mass testing. In Vicente Soto, we had this walk-in or drive-through swab testing. For those who want to avail this, they can just register online. For treatment, it's still symptom-based. With the advent of research, a lot of lives were saved. For the viewers, we are still on the tip of the iceberg. Di nang dito magkumpiyansa. Wash your hands, practice social distancing, wear your masks. Para makaingon jud ta na we beat COVID.
Thank you very much for sharing your powerful will of healing within us, Doc. And so, friends, let's follow doctor's orders. We can't take it easy. We must be very careful. We hope that you have seen what it is like from the frontliners' point of view, the sacrifice they make to save lives, and that is on a daily basis. We need to pray for all our frontliners, for them to be strengthened so that they could perform their tasks, so that others may live. Thank you for staying tuned to us. We have something exciting next week. Have a great week ahead, friends. See you next week.